Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Before reciting Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narada and Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagvatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama-shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagvatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the Personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Granth Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6. Prahlad Maharaj instructs his demoniac schoolmates. So we read till text number 19 yesterday, and we were discussing that how pleasing Krishna is very easy. He is very, very simple. He is just offer little fruit, flower, water. Very simple. On the other hand, pleasing family, children, parents, society, nation, community, etc., extremely difficult. One spends decades and decades and decades, and 50 years one will spend and will ask, and oh, my dear family member, I have, served you for 50 years almost. Are you pleased with me? Still, one may be surprised with the responses. But Krishna, little service, unlimited result. So let's continue what Prahlad Maharaj is speaking next. Text 20 to 23. Paravareshu bhuteshu dharmanta stavaradishu bhautikeshu vikareshu bhuteshva atha mahatsu cha Guneshu guna samyecha guna vyatikare tatha eka eva paro hyatma Bhagavan Ishvaro avyayah pratyagatma swarupena drishyarupena cha swayam vyapaya vyapaka nirdeshyo ya anirdeshyo avikhalpitaham kevalanubhavanandam swarupa parameshwarah Mayaya antarihi atishvarya iyate guna sargaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller, who is infallible, indefatigable, is present in different forms of life, from the inert living beings, sthavara, such as plants, to Brahma, the foremost created living being. He is also present in the varieties of material creations and in the material elements, the total material energy and the modes of material nature, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, as well as the unmanifested material nature and the false ego. Although he is one, he is present everywhere. He is also transcendental, supersoul, the cause of all causes, who is present as the observer in the cores of the hearts of all living entities. He is indicated as that which is pervaded and as the all-pervading Supersoul, but actually he cannot be indicated. He is changeless and undivided. He is simply perceived as the Supreme Satchid Ananda, eternity, knowledge and bliss. Being covered by the curtain of the external energy, to the atheist he appears non-existence. Purport: not only is the Supreme Personality of Godhead present as the Supersoul of all living entities, at the same time he pervades everything in the entire creation. He exists in all circumstances and at all times. He exists in the heart of Lord Brahma and also in the cores of the hearts of the dogs, trees, plants, and so on. He is present everywhere. He is present not only in the heart of the living entity, but also in the material things, even in the atoms or protons and electrons being explored by the material scientists. The Lord is present in three features as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Because he is present everywhere, he is described as Sarvam Khalam Idam Brahma. Vishnu exists beyond Brahman. Bhagavad Gita confirms that Krishna, by his Brahman feature, is all-pervading. Maya tatam idam sarvam. Maya tatam idam sarvam. But Brahman depends upon Krishna. Brahmano hi pratisthaham. Without Krishna, there could be no existence of Brahman or Paramatma. Therefore, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the ultimate realization of the Absolute Truth. Although he is present as Paramatma in the core of everyone's heart, he is nonetheless either as the individuals or as the all-pervading Brahman. The Supreme Cause is Krishna, and devotees who have surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can realize him and his presence within the universe and within the atom. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. This realization is possible only for devotees who have fully surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord. For others it is not possible. So I'll stop here. It's a long purport. So in these 4 verses actually together, Prahlad Maharaj is explaining about the different aspects of the Supreme Lord. And one theme which is there in this verse, that he is present everywhere. He is present in Lord Brahma's heart because he is also an Atma, and with the Jiva Atma is present the Vibhu Atma. With the Anu Atma is the Vibhu Atma, like called the Super Soul or the Paramatma, all referring to the same thing. But who's the source? Ultimately, the source of the sun rays is the sun. The source of the Paramatma aspect is also Krishna. The source of the Brahman aspect. The 3 aspects we have discussed multiple times, and we have discussed a chart also which shares different analogies, who worships whom. So the Brahman aspect, the Brahman realization, as he is present in Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham, he is present in each and every atom as the Supreme Lord is there. So everything is it's non-dual, but the realization is different. So the impersonalists try to worship the energy of the Lord, or the Brahman aspect, which is like the effulgence. Then the personalist or the Vaishnavas worship Krishna as the person. They don't ignore the Brahman aspect, they don't ignore the Paramatma aspect, because ultimately he is non-dual. And a pure devotee, we have discussed, sthavara jangama na dekhi na dekhi tara murti sarvatra hoy ishtadev sfurti. So everywhere he is having the realization. Even if he sees a plant, one sees the Supreme Lord, a pure devotee. This comes in Bhagavad Gita also. Vidya Vinisampanne brahmane gavihastina shuni cheva shopakeva pandita samadarshina. Because whether it's a dog, whether it's a cat, whether it's a dog eater, a pure soul who's at the pure level, on the level of spirit, is seeing that super soul in everyone's heart. Is not seeing just the external covering that is the body. So the omnipotence or omnipresence of the Lord is mentioned in this word. That He's present everywhere in different aspects, different realizations, whether it is Sthavar, which is still, and Jangam is moving. Any other? So we can read the rest of the purports and take some comments after that, if any. Would someone like to read the rest of the purport? Those who didn't get a chance yesterday.
Hare Krishna Prabhupada. This is confirmed by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Daivi esha gunamai mama maya durattaya mama eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. The process of surrender in a devotional attitude is accepted by a fortunate living being. After wandering through many varieties of life on many planetary systems, when one comes to the real understanding of the absolute truth by the grace of a devotee, one surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. Prahlad Maharaj's classmates, friends, who were born of Daitya family, thought that realizing the absolute was extremely difficult. Indeed, we have experienced that many people say this very thing. Actually, however, this is not so. The absolute, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is most intimately related to all living entities. Therefore, if one understands the Vaishnava philosophy, which explains how he is present everywhere and how he acts everywhere, to worship the Supreme Lord or to realize Him is not at all difficult. Realization of the Lord, however, is possible only in the association of devotees. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his teachings to Rupa Goswami, said, CC Madhya 19.151, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhakyamana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. The living entity in the material condition wanders through many varieties of life and many varieties of circumstances. But if he comes in contact with a pure devotee and is intelligent enough to take instructions from the pure devotee regarding the process of devotional service, he can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin of Brahman and Paramatma, without difficulty. In this regard, Srila Madhavacharya says, Antaryami pratyagya atma vyaptaha kalo hari smrita prakritya tamasa vritvat harir aishwaryam na gyayate. The Lord is present as Antaryami in everyone's heart and is visible in the individual soul covered by a body. Indeed, He is everywhere at every time in every condition. But because He is covered by the curtain of material energy, to an ordinary person, there appears to be no God. Hari Bol. So, everything happens in your mind first. If your mind refuses to see God, you will not see God, because if you decide to be covered by material energy, then Krishna has given you that choice, and He won't reveal Himself. It's like one of the Guru and disciple stories. The disciple says, Guru Maharaj, it's so difficult for me to leave Maya. It's so difficult. It's almost impossible. And he says, okay, hug this tree really, really, really hard. And now say the same words, but say it's very difficult to leave this tree because we are hugging it so hard. It doesn't matter that we are getting bleeding. We are getting hurt, but we won't leave that because we are so attached. So, and then in the beginning of the purport, Daivi Esha Gunamai, the very famous verse of Bhagavad Gita, the process of surrender is accepted by the pure is fortunate living beings. Again, the same principle is there in the Brahmande Brahmitikon verse. When person is really fortunate, then he comes across this pure devotees, because bhakti is about getting association, and this Daitya children are so fortunate to get association of Prahlad Maharaj, and he's like their guru. And this Vaishnava philosophy comes like a second nature if we are fortunate enough to get association of devotees, and what to speak of when they are pure devotees. We can just pray and pray for this fortune. We can, and in the last couple of purports it has said, Prabhupada has really insisted that it's so difficult to satisfy our senses with Maya, but it is so easy to please Janardana. Bhava Grahi Janardana. And in a recent lecture I was listening, in the retreat lecture I was hearing that these circumstances like COVID come to really for us to think a little deeper, go a little deeper, and realize that association of devotees we can overcome anything. And to please Krishna, unity is everything, unity of devotee. Janardana is Bhava Grahi Janardana, but when you bring everyone together to please Krishna, then that is the biggest, you can win everything, you can overcome everything. Back to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So this also reminds me of the verse you were recently reading by the prayers of Kunti Maharani. Exactly same verse compared to the last verse of this section. She says, Maya Javanika Channam Agyad Adhokshajam Avyayam Na Lakshase Mooda Drisha Nato Natye Dharo Yatha. Krishna is covered. She's praying to Krishna that you are covered by this curtain of illusory energy. As an actor, Nato Natye Dharo Yatha. As an actor is covered. On a stage, your friend could be performing, but if you're not aware that, oh, your friend is performing there, then we will not be able to understand. So similarly, Krishna comes on the material world to display his wonderful pastimes. But people like Duryodhana, even when Krishna showed the Virat Rupa, Duryodhana thought, he's just a mystic. He's just an ordinary person. How can, he must have some black magic or tricks. So he's covered for those who, by his illusory energy is covered. And he appears to be non-existent because that's how they want to perceive. Those avajananti mamuda. Foolish cannot, people cannot understand me. And by foolish, not by degrees, by faith and devotion in Krishna. So, by atheistic mentality. One who thinks himself as God, how can understand Krishna as God? So what is the process? The process is bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijananti. Taking instructions from pure devotee, serving the great souls, reading, hearing, chanting, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. That is the process. Sevon mukhe hi jivado swayam ev sfurtiyadha. When we use our tongue, our senses in Krishna's service, then he will choose to reveal himself. Then we'll be able to understand and realize Krishna. Any other comments or questions before we move on?
Roger, thank you again. I just wanted to add something I forgot. So the important point here is that only Prabhupada is saying here, is stressing out that only an association of devotees is possible. So it's like candles. The candle have full potential, but unless one candle is lit by another, the candle doesn't start giving light. So this is the same principle. A lot of times, just a devotee association is needed to let us begin and let us keep going on the path of devotional service. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's so important. Any other comments or questions? Anyone?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is Raghunandan Das. I found these two words to be very unique in the sense it says he is the pervaded, he is indicated as that which is pervaded and as the all-pervading super soul. So in one sense, the everything in the material creation is made up of the material energy besides the spirit souls, that is. So that material energy is he in one sense. So, and that material energy is pervaded throughout by his plenary expansion as the super soul. So this reminded me of an explanation because it talks about Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan Realization. Prabhupada gives a very beautiful purport in Mantra 15 of Sri Upanishad, where he talks about the realization of Brahman, realization of Paramatma and realization of Bhagavan. And there he says, a person who doesn't have any conception of any potencies of the Supreme Lord attains the Brahman realization, which they are the jnanis, pursuing the jnana yoga path. And a person who has some understanding of the material potencies of the Supreme Lord, especially as the super soul, because the super soul is the one that is doing all the maintenance, sanctioning and all the stuff in the material creation. So they understand the material potencies of the Supreme Lord. So that is they reach this level of Paramatma realization. They don't have much conception of the spiritual potencies, but only people who are taking to the process of bhakti, they understand both the material potencies of the Supreme Lord as well as the spiritual potencies of the Supreme Lord, and ultimately the personal form of the Supreme Lord, and attain the Bhagavan realization. So that was very beautifully explained by Prabhupada there. So I thought I could mention that here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very nice. I have again shared that chart which talks about the different aspects of realization, which is of course from Srila Prabhupada's books at multiple places. It's kind of a compilation of all the aspects together. So we have discussed that like multiple times. This is something so important. Therefore, Prabhupada brings it up in the purport of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Upanishad, etc. Okay, let's move on to the next verse. Sujaya Mataji, you want to read? Okay, Ekant Prabhu.
Everyone, I can read it. Hare Krishna, everyone. Text 24. Tasmat sarveshu bhuteshu dayam kurta sahrudam bhavam asuram umuchya yaya tusyata adokshaja. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Therefore, my dear young friends, born of demons, please act in such a way that the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the conception of material knowledge, will be satisfied. Give up your demonic nature and act without enmity and or joviality. Show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotion service, thus becoming their well-wishers. Purport. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 18.55, Bhaktiyamam apijiyanti yayam yaschayami tattvaha. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotion service. Prahlad Maharaj ultimately instructed his class friends, the son of demons, to accept the process of devotional service by preaching the signs of Krishna consciousness to everyone. Preaching is the best service to the Lord. The Lord will immediately be extremely satisfied with one who engages in the service of preaching Krishna consciousness. This is confirmed by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita 18.69.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Prabhu, I got a phone call. I'm sorry. I can stop here, Prabhu. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, would someone else like to continue? We didn't read
I
much
can
today.
continue.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna devotees. Nacha tasman manusyeshu kaschin me priya kattamaha. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. If one sincerely tries his best to spread Krishna consciousness by preaching the glories of the Lord and his supremacy, even if he is imperfectly educated, he becomes the dearmost servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is bhakti. As one performs this service for humanity without discrimination between friends and enemies, the Lord becomes satisfied and the mission of one's life is fulfilled. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised everyone to become a guru devotee and preach Krishna consciousness. Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesha. That is the easiest way to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By such preaching, the preacher becomes satisfied, and those to whom he preaches are also satisfied. This is the process of bringing peace and tranquility to the entire world. Bhoktaram yagna tapassam sarvalokam maheshwaram suhardam sarvabhutanam janatva mam santim richati. One is expected to understand these three formulas of knowledge concerning the Supreme Lord, that he is the supreme enjoyer, that he is the proprietor of everything, and that he is the best well-wisher and friend of everyone. A preacher should personally understand these truths and preach them to everyone. Then there will be peace and tranquility all over the world. The word suhardam, friendliness, is very significant in this verse. People are generally ignorant of Krishna consciousness, and therefore to become their well-wisher, one should teach them about Krishna consciousness without discrimination. Since the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, is situated in the core of everyone's heart, every body is a temple of Vishnu. One should not misuse this understanding as an excuse for such words as Daridra Narayana. If Narayana lives in the house of a Daridra, a poor man, this does not mean that Narayana becomes poor. He lives everywhere, in the houses of the poor and those of the rich. But in all circumstances, he remains Narayana. To think that he becomes either poor or rich is a material calculation. He is always Saddaishvarya Purna, full in six opulences in all circumstances. Hare Krishna. So very nice verse. So Prahlad Maharaj is continuing to instruct his friends, and he's telling them that you have to go beyond the concept of material energy and material life. You have to start practicing bhakti and realize the spiritual nature of Krishna, as we have discussed, Brahman, Paramatma, and then the spiritual form of Krishna, Bhagavan. So he's saying to do this, to do the bhakti, one has to be a devotee, and then also one has to be a guru. So first you can be a guru only being a devotee first, and then taking this message and then advancing further, then becoming a guru, and then preaching to the other people without any discrimination. So that's important. So that's why the ISKCON, everyone is open to all people, irrespective of their color, country, caste, whatever. So it's open to everyone. And that's one of the great things I think about ISKCON. It's a spiritual science, and it explains everything very nicely. So yeah, I'll stop there. Please explain more, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. You nicely mentioned all the points. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying, firstly, you do the bhakti process by engaging in the service of the Supreme Lord, and then, therefore, tasmat, you share dayam kuruta, sohridam, become a friend of everyone. Suhridam sarva bhutanam, that's one of the qualities of a devotee or a sincere soul. He's a well-wisher of everyone. Prabhupada would address his letters, sign as your ever well-wisher. And there's a movie also, there's a documentary, your ever well-wisher. Because he went to the United States, it's not that he had his friends living there, or he had his Indian community going there, or he has his Bengali people going, living there, waiting for him to get down from the airport. Why did he go? Because of Sohridam, the real well-wisher of the whole world. And then later, everyone came, people from all backgrounds. Because one has to give up this Asuri mentality. Bhavam Asuram Unmuchya. Give up this Asuri mentality. What they were being taught, oh, he is your friend, he is your enemy. You have to kill Vishnu, you have to kill the servants of Vishnu, and you have to grow your own kingdom. And that's what Hiranyakashipu was expecting even Prahlad to tell when he asked, what did you learn at the school? But Prahlad said, we should be everyone's well-wisher. This my envious mentality is not good. And the other children were being taught that because they didn't have the opportunity to learn from Narada Muni. They were learning from the so-called gurus, Shandana Marka. So now, Prahlad, being a true guru, is teaching them what they should do. Give up this mentality and also be a genuine friend by sharing. Prabhupada is writing, preaching is the best service to the Lord. The Lord is very happy. Lord himself is saying, there is no servant in the world more dear to me than who is, ready to share this message with others. So, referring to outreach, preaching, and trying to inspire others to get more closer to Krishna. And that will happen, number one, if we take it sincerely, and number two, under the guidance of senior Vaishnavas, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, we try our best. And like any devotional service cannot be checked by material situations, same as preaching. So one may say, oh, now I can't go out, now I can't do this, now I can't. If one is, carefully, one has sincere desire, Krishna will arrange multiple ways. One can preach. Nowadays, everyone is on the internet. They are using Facebook, they are using YouTube, they are using so many different forms of, through phone. So we can, under the guidance of senior Vaishnavas like His Grace Vishishika Prabhu and his team, they are doing so many things. They are distributing hundreds of books pretty much every day. They are inspiring hundreds of people to get closer to Krishna every day. So all we need is sincere desire to become a true friend of everyone. And that is the universal peace formula. Because everyone is Krishna's child, so when we establish the relationship on the principle that we are all, that's universal brotherhood. That's what Prabhupada did, to build a home where the whole world can live peacefully. And that's what we see. People from all backgrounds coming, dancing, serving, black, white, rich, poor, yellow, brown, Indian, American, young, old, anyone and everyone, chanting, dancing nicely together without having any this I, me, separatist mentality. They have the sohridam, the friendship. Any other comments or questions? Okay, we will read the next verse then. Would someone like to read who didn't read yesterday?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read.
Yes, please.
Dandavat pranam to everyone. Text number 25. Tushte cha tatra kimalabhya anantamadhye kim terguna vyatika karadihaye swasiddhaha dharmadayah kimagunena chakamshitena saram jusham charana yorupa gayatamnah. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nothing is unobtainable for devotees who have satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of all causes, the original source of everything. The Lord is the reservoir of unlimited spiritual qualities. For devotees, therefore, who are transcendental to the modes of material nature, what is the use of following the principle of religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, which are all automatically obtainable under the influence of mode of material nature? We devotees always glorify the lotus feet of the Lord, and therefore we need not ask for anything in terms of dharma, kam, artha, and moksha. Purport. In an advanced civilization, people are eager to be religious, to be economically well situated, to satisfy their senses to the fullest extent, and at last to obtain liberation. However, these are not to be manifested as a desirable. Indeed, for a devotee, these are all very easily available. Bilva Mangala Thakura had said, Muktihi swayam mukullinjali sevate sman dharmatma kama gatah swayam parikshakah. Liberation always stands at the door of the devotee, ready to carry out his order. Material advancement in religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation simply wait to serve the devotee at the first opportunity. A devotee is already in a transcendental position. He does not need further qualification to be liberated, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14.26. Sagunan samitayan brahma bhutaya kalpate. A devotee is transcendental to the action and reaction of the three modes of material nature because he is situated in Brahman platform. Prahlad Maharaja said, Agunena cha khanakshitena. If one engage in the transcendental loving service of the lotus feet of the Lord, he does not need anything in terms of dharma, artha, kam, and moksha. In Srimad Bhagvatam, therefore, in the beginning of the transcendental literature, it is said, Dharma prayojata kaivito tra. Dharma, artha, kama, and moksha are kaivataha, false and unnecessary. Nirmatsaranam, person who are completely transcendental to the material activity of separateness, who make no distinction between mine and yours, but who simply engage in the devotional service of the Lord, are actually fit to accept Bhagavad Dharma, Dharman Bhagavan because they are Nirvatsara, not jealous of everyone. They wanted to make other devotees, even their enemies. Indeed, Srila Madhvacharya remarks, Kanakshate mokshagam api sukham na kashanto yatha. Devotees are not desires of any material happiness, including the happiness derived from liberation. This is called anu abhilashena suyam jana karma anavratam. Karma is desire material happiness and jnana is desire the liberation, but a devotee does not desire anything. He is simply satisfied by rendering transcendental loving service at the lotus feet of the Lord and glorifying Him everywhere by preaching, which is his life and soul. Hare Krishna, everyone. So this is very nicely explained by Prahlad Maharaja to his classmate. He's explaining the difference between the devotees and the people who are materialistic. So he's saying that nothing is unobtainable for the devotee who develop the devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord. He can he will be free from the terms of like dharma, artha, kama and moksha. And in the purport also, Prabhupada is saying that the liberation is always stand on the door of the devotee. But the great devotee of the Lord, they do not want the liberation, but they want the devotional service at the lotus feet of the Lord. And Prabhupada is saying that they are serving the lotus feet of the Lord. And if we see the lotus feet of Lord Krishna is the shelter of all devotees. And in order to serve the lotus feet of Krishna, you need your mind need to be set on his feet. And in order to do the smaranam, you need to fix your mind from the lotus feet of the Lord to the lotus eyes of the Krishna. So if you develop the habit of remembering Krishna when you chant, you can fix your mind at the lotus feet. And if you do this like a couple of times, your mind will automatically situated on his feet. And the lotus feet of the Lord is like very beautiful. We have seen in couple of his Leela, he performed the Kaliya dance on the hood of Kaliya serpent. The lotus feet is the path gopis were finding, and they were searching for the Krishna, and Mother Yashoda was also experiencing that when he was walking with his feet, having the nice bells on his feet. So that resounding sound was very pleasing to Mother Yashoda. So all the great devotees, they wanted to focus their mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. And that's what I understand. Prabhu, you can add more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. I think you nicely summed up all the points. That a devotee is simply happy by devotional service. Now someone will say, oh, well, if I have other desires, then what do I do? Because this verse says that one should not ask for materialistic things like economic development, religion, sense gratification, etc. So this is like the topmost level, pure devotee, anya bilashita shanya, completely unalloyed devotion. But Krishna, in Bhagavatam and other places it's mentioned that even if one has desires, because Bhagavatam is all encompassing, there is room for everyone. Unless someone says, I cannot, of course, we start bhakti, it's not that all the desires will go away that very day or that very moment, because the baggage is there for lifetimes, millions or zillions of lifetimes. So Bhagavatam also says that, okay, one has desires, one asks Krishna. Akama, sarva kama, moksha kama udharadi. One has desire for liberation, whether one is just full of all desires or no desires. one should still render devotional service. So the case of Dhruv Maharaj is also there, and the case of Prahlad Maharaj is also there. The case of Ajamil is also there, and the case of pure devotees like Bhishma Dev, Kunti Maharani is also there. And so there is hope for everyone. Putana's case is also there, Yashoda Mata's case is also there. So Bhagavatam covers everyone. Prachini Bharishad is also there, and the Prachetas are also there. So that's the beauty of Bhagavatam, I feel. It covers everyone. So no one can say, no, Bhagavatam is too much for me. Yes, it gives the highest goal, so we can aspire for that. But it gives the, people or even the non-devotees, like a Jamil or Gajendra being an elephant, or who may have taken to the other paths like dharma, artha, kama, but still they take to bhakti eventually. How the deer, he got attached to deer, Bharat, Jad Bharat. So Bhagavatam is all encompassing. This is the highest standard, and we should aspire to get to that standard. We should pray for that standard, but we all know where we stand, and the goal is to move forward. Any other comments or questions anyone has?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Bhadra. Dandavat everybody. Look at the translation, the first word. Nothing is obtainable for devotees who have satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of all causes, the original source of everything. So Srila Prabhupada is in the purport putting himself. He said, look at the situation Srila Prabhupada came. He had nothing. He had nothing when he came to this country. When he left home, he had nothing. Even India, he had nothing. Isn't it? Just barely. But because he had a full faith in the holy name and in the instruction of his spiritual master and Srimad Bhagvatam, he had a full faith, and that's why he was able to achieve everything. So that is the important point in this verse is mentioned, that full faith is needed, and he had that, and that's why he was able to have. There is no religion, economic development, sense gratification, liberation. These are the Sanatan Dharmi people, they write it, but they don't write the Pancham Purusa, which is the love of God. They don't write that. See. For Srila Prabhupada, it was above these four these Purushas, above. He was above that, and that's what Srila Prabhupada wanted to bring out to the people of this world. Now, also that's one point. Second point is about the lotus feet of the Lord. The lotus feet of the Lord are like lotuses with sweet fragrance and taste. And who are the devotees? Devotees like the bees. Just like when Krishna is wearing the Vaijayanti Mala garland of the all different flowers, all the bees are around him. Now bees are not there around Krishna to bite him. Those bees are so attracted by that lotus flower, which is the garland, which is Vaijayanti Mala worn by Krishna. So similarly, the lotus feet of the Lord are sweet fragrance and taste. So bees are like there. Bees are devotees like bees. They are just at the lotus feet of the Lord, like a bees, humming around. He's taking the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. That's what devotees does. And then, of course, devotees are like bees who, by their nature, do not desire other things. Bees who doesn't want to desire the dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So, and Srila Prabhupada did that not just for himself, but he also inspired his followers to do that. The three couples went to London. Imagine, 3 Grihas couple going to London. without money. There's some money they had. Mukund Maharaj had received some money, or I think Shyam Sundar had received some money from something, and from that they just went there, and just Srila Prabhupada told them go. He told the same thing to Gaur Govind Maharaj, go to you. This is your place. But Bhubaneswar Odisha is your place. Go preach. I mean, it's a big whole now past time about Gaur Govind Maharaj. We're not going to go through that. But that is the point in this verse is kind of mentioned. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Okay, we will read the last verse for today. Prabir Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 26. Dharma kama iti obishita strivarga ikshatroinaya dhama vividha cha vatsa munyetad etad akhilam nigamasya satyam satmarpanam sha shurida paramasya pumsha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Religion, economic development, and sense gratification. These are described in the Vedas as three vargas, or three ways to salvation. Within these three categories are education and self-realization. Ritualistic ceremonies performed according to the Vedic injunction, logic, the science of law and order, and the various means of earning one's livelihood. These are the external subject matters of study in the Vedas, and therefore I consider them material. However, I consider surrender to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu to be transcendental. Purport. These instructions, Prahlad Maharaj stressed the transcendental position of devotional service. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14.26, Mam chojo bebichareno bhakti yogena sevate shagunan samatityatim tan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature, and thus comes to the level of Brahman. One who fully engages in the devotional service of the Lord is immediately raised to the transcendental position, which is the Brahmabhuta stage. Any education or activity not on the Brahmabhuta platform, the platform of self-realization, is considered to be material. And Prahlad Maharaj says that anything material cannot be the absolute truth. But the absolute truth is on the spiritual platform. This is also confirmed by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 2.45, where he says, Traiguna Vishaya Veda Nispraiguna Bhavarjuna. The Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, O Arjuna. Be transcendental to all of them. To act on the material platform, even if one's activities are sanctioned by the Vedas, is not the ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is to stay on the spiritual platform, fully surrendered to the Param Purusha, the Supreme Person. This is the object of the human mission. In summary, the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies and injunctions are not to be discounted. They are means of being promoted to the spiritual platform. But it does not come to the spiritual platform. The Vedic ceremonies are simply a waste of time. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagvatam 1.2.8. dharma sanustita punsam vishakshena katha suja nat padayet jodiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. Duties, dharma, executed by man, regardless of occupation, are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the Supreme Lord. If one very strictly performs the various duties of religion, but does not ultimately come to the platform of surrendering to the Supreme Lord, his methods of attaining salvation or elevation are simply a waste of time and energy. Hare Krishna. So here, studying from Srila Prahlad Maharaj, his translation and by Srila Prabhupada, explaining us that except the devotional service, other forms like religion, economic development, none of them are going to give us the ultimate goal of the life. And Prabhupada, in Prahlad Maharaj was mentioning here that education, then even like self-realization, like ritualistic ceremonies, like doing the different yagas, just for the material benefit, or even like jnanas. Jnana is like knowing like Sarvam Khalidam Brahma, like Brahma is everywhere by logic, but not having any devotional service. Means devotional service means service according to the desire of the Lord whom we are doing the service. The ultimate goal is not fulfilled if we don't do the devotional service. And Prabhupada here is mentioning from Srimad Bhagavatam Gita that one who does the devotional service, he goes beyond all three modes of nature. It means even someone has like Sattva gun but doesn't do any devotional service, then, and you have the devotional service, the process already told by Srila Prahlad Maharaj, the 9 processes. So those, one of them can help us. And Prabhupada is saying multiple quotations that one who goes to the devotional service, they achieve everything. And in the last verse, Bhadra Prabhu and Shubhalash Prabhu mentioning, then when a devotee is in devotional practice, nothing is unobtainable. He achieves everything. Even Lord comes to even take care of it. And we have so many pastimes. We know that there's that famous verse in 9th chapter where that verse is saying Krishna takes care of everything. Whatever someone has, or if someone needs something, Krishna fulfills that. So here Prabhupada is mentioning that in Vedas there are so many different activities are there, and those activities are actually to help someone to reach into the platform, to understand that devotional service is the highest goal of the life, and to reach into that stage, we can do basic performances. But when a pure devotee comes, and if we take his instruction, then we don't need to go through that. And at that, we can see starting from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, example, and then Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. We don't need to go to to learn about all these different things in Vedas. But if we just accept the devotional practice, the 9 processes, one of the 9 processes, then we will reach our ultimate goal of the life. Krishna, go back to you. Please add or further.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Wonderful. I think Prabhuji mentioned so nicely all the points. Bhakti is the real source, and all our dharma, artha, kama, that is our job, our family, our other duties, should help us to develop more attraction towards Krishna. That is the whole point. To Vishwaksena Katha Suya. It awakens more love towards Krishna, more attraction towards hearing, more attraction towards chanting. The dharma, artha, kama are not supposed to take us away from bhakti. They are supposed to help us in our bhakti. If one does these activities, job, family, etc., keeping that, is it helping me in my Krishna consciousness? Or how can it help me? So that focus should always be there. Otherwise, as it says, then it is Shrama eva kevalam. Donkey also works very hard, but it is just futile labor. So working hard is like a donkey is not the right thing, but that work should help us, that family life should inspire each other to help to grow in bhakti. All the aspects should be focused, keeping Krishna as the center. That's very healthy situation. Any other comments or questions? Okay, so we will stop here and continue tomorrow with the next verse. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha pattanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nantakoti Vaishnavrind ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.